is Cosmos with B, and this is your full moon forecast for the 15th of November. Okay, so this full moon, and I'm first off, I'm not quite sure if I'm going to do every full moon or not. It just seems that right now the energies are feeling very, very almost like a trial and a tribulation, and they're not nice to experience right now. They're not feeling good. So don't worry if you're not feeling good. There's just a lot of energies around. There's a lot of feelings and emotions. There's a lot of the feelings and emotions of other people around. And you could just be picking up noise that's not yours. Because when this change, because there's a lot of change happening in our cosmos, this change happens and we all feel it, but because we're all operating at different frequencies and different vibrations, it can affect another person. Like, say if you're a flatmate or something, or you have a partner, it could affect you differently to your partner because your partner's experiencing different things. Or if you are flatting, or if you're in a work environment, you could all of a sudden realize, oh my God, I don't want to do this job anymore. I don't even like these people. I'm not enjoying myself here, but everyone else in the job is fine. So you could be feeling a full moon effect, but it could be operating as someone else in a different way, if that makes sense. Okay, so yeah, it's been, I think, the last full moon and then this one feels very different to that one. So first off, it feels like there's been this massive cutoff. I know I keep talking about this, but this cutoff is happening, and for a big group of us, we're getting very, very low tolerance for people who are not wanting to lift their weight or do their part. And it is becoming harder and harder to be accepting of that or wanting that in your life. Yeah, okay, so it feels like there's a lot of stuff coming up about people who don't want to lift their weight, people who sort of want other people to do the work for them, and it's not a healthy, respectable connection. I don't know, but it is like one person's energy wants to use your energy to benefit them, but it's not working for you. And so there's a lot of things around low tolerance. And it's like, but I want to feel good in my life. I want to surround myself with better people. I want better finances. I'm tired of slogging it out with people that are just not being respectful, kind of considerate of me. I'm really tired of dealing with people like that. There's a lot of stuff around this full moon of boundaries, or just almost being like chopped from other people. Like, no, I'm done here. I'm finished dealing with this situation. I'm finished with you playing out your juju on me. I'm finished, being this person for you that didn't even work for me. I didn't gain anything from this. All you did was take from me. Lots of feelings of that. And being very, very illumined to connections, people, places, jobs, and ways of life that are not making you feel good. And so this full moon feels quite heavy because it's like, I don't feel that. I don't know, I'm not resident with this. I don't want to be here. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. But you're here and you're experiencing it. And it is, it's a big year. It's a really big year. Okay, so yeah, really big themes of this full moon, and no longer wanting to take on other people's problems. And you're probably, if you're resonant with me, you're probably wanting to lift yourself out of that collective heavy energy and into something brighter and more fulfilling and more juicy. But it's like, hold on a minute. And sometimes we have to go through this process of feeling all these emotions. Oh, no, I don't want to be around those people. I don't want that job. I don't want to do this. And then we have to wait for the cosmos alignment to bring through the juicy, light, creative things. It's been a really, really long 6 years. Okay, I'm going into that. Yeah, you've got to be patient with the realignment, because this full moon, and I dreamt of it the other night. Where were you 6 years ago? So, and these, I talk about these cycles within cycles all the time. And if you look back at where you were 6 years ago and what you've experienced the last 6 years, trials, tribulations, lack of money, around about 6 years ago was when my clairvoyance started opening up and I started receiving things from the cosmos. But from 6 years ago to now, nothing has really changed in my life. I've still experienced the same frequency and the same almost of these connections with these people over and over in the same frequency. So I'm just saying that to validate other people that are watching. So you could look back at, why did I keep experiencing these really not nice connections? Why could I not get my finances going? It's because there was this massive thing playing out in the cosmos, especially to do with women, okay? If you're a woman and you watch this, I'm going to be having more stuff coming out for women very shortly. I'm going to start a different channel with, I know she's watching this too, Jessica. We're going to start a channel for women called the Divine Feminine Oracle, and we're going to relay to you every month the energy pulse for women who are evolving into more maturity with the Divine Feminine. So especially for women, and for the last 6 years, it's been really, really hard. You've had to go through like quite a lot of hard trying energies and connections, and nothing has moved, nothing has changed. Maybe you keep dreaming of a partner who hasn't arrived yet. Maybe you keep dreaming of a child that hasn't arrived yet. But there's a very set timing and a clicking over, and these things take time to culminate. And what happens is our bodies and our intuition, our spirit starts picking up all the stuff maybe years before it's ready. But it's just sort of like the cosmos and the higher spiritual realms alerting you to what's coming up, and sometimes you've got to be really patient. Yeah, so there's a massive realignment going on, but there's a really, it's quite a trying time, I'd say, right now. There's a lot of feelings of, I don't want to do this, I don't want to be here, I'm just tired of, lifting people up, and then, oh, okay, but you're just going to take money from me, like, oh, okay, like that type of feeling. And then it gets this feeling of being almost a little bit jaded by life. And that's a sign that you need to realign your friendships and your jobs and whatnot, and find a better frequency and energy to align with. Maybe you've been feeling that, but it hasn't been time, or you've felt annoyed and irritated because you want to leave certain circumstances, but it's just not happening. You've got to be patient and wait for that to align for you. I know there's a bunch of people that I know who want to move countries or move land areas. They're not happy in the land areas that they're in, or they want to sell their houses or whatever, but it just hasn't been time. The finances haven't allowed. You're probably waiting for something to click in. Or you want to move countries because you're done with the country. That's very in alignment, very in time. And I would say over the next 3 years, you're probably going to see a lot of people relocate and redesign their lives, having finished almost with the frequency that they were in, and it's no longer working for them. Okay, this woman is really big. Okay, yeah, where were you? I talked about that. Where were you 6 years ago, and what has happened the last 6 years? And just have a look about where you are now, and it's going to be very, very different. And there's going to be like this doorway that's going to open, and you'll be like, right, I'm walking through here. I'm not dealing with those people anymore. I'm finished maybe making that content. I want to do something more exciting. I've upgraded my energies a little bit. I want to go bigger. I want to feel good. This is my incarnation. I want to do something exciting with it. I've been on the earth a really long time. I want to do something that's going to benefit and make me feel good. So when I pass over, I know I did my life well. Yes, that's definitely what I've been feeling. I've been like, what am I doing that's going to make my life feel good for me? And that is very, very unique and very, very one of a kind to each and every one of us. So for someone like me who's really creative, I really want to design wallpaper, or I want to design homewares or interior design stuff, and that makes me feel really good because I love beauty and I love beautiful surroundings and I love creating. I love working with other people, so that suits me, and that's going to bring me fulfillment and this feeling of in the soul, like, yes, this is what I want to do. So yes, this full moon, what is it that you really want to do now? Because we've gone and finished off our time in the old frequency, and now we're here and arrived in the new frequency. What do I want to do? Do I want to start interviewing different people for my podcast? Do I want to reinvent what I'm doing? Do I want to get some new branding? Do I want to relocate? Do I want to get a new team member and get rid of my old team? Do I want to set up a website for this idea that I've had the last 3 years? Is it time for me to begin putting myself out there more now? I don't want to sit here and do nothing. I want to get out there and do stuff. This is very full moon. I don't want to sit there and do nothing. I want to get out there and I want to do something. So, this year has been a doozy boo. It hasn't been a nice one. There's a lot of stuff that's happened. There hasn't been a lot of fulfillment this year. It's just been wading through this energy that's really heavy and maybe shutting off some past life connections and all this other stuff, and it hasn't been like a party. Okay, so for this full moon, it also feels like what are my desires? What are my desires? What am I really desiring to do? What is it that actually makes me happy? And it is not pushing out content, or it's not hammering away doing the same deck for different people as a builder. It's doing something different and something bigger and something bolder. And I just need to get out there and do it. What are my desires? What are my desires that are starting to bubble up with this full moon? Okay, we're going to say bye to the icky frequencies and the people we just don't want to deal with anymore. All right, I'm not focusing on people like that. I'm not going to try and help people anymore. I'm done with that. I can help someone out every now and then, but I've got my own desires and my own life to focus on in this full moon. Where do I want to go, and what is starting to call me now? So it's sort of like, okay. If we can just shut the door on all the stuff that happened this year and be like, okay, I had some experience with some people that weren't nice. They weren't nice to me. They made me feel a little bit icky. Now I'm going to close that door there. I'm going to look towards this door into this bright garden here. What are my desires that are calling me in my soul? What am I feeling like I want? Do I want to start a business? Do I want to be a fashion designer? Do I want to open up my psychic abilities a bit more? Like what? Or do I want to collaborate with someone? Do I want to go find someone who's got some energy that I'm really resonating with, and let's see what we can make together? So it's very collaborative energies. And as I say that, you want to make sure you're collaborating on your desires and your creativity and things that are starting to for you at this full moon. Watch them come up for you gently, like an idea and a bloom that is like, hey, or maybe you've had this idea the last 3 years, but now you're starting to, okay, and then you might feel a bit of anticipation or a bit of anxiety. No, I can't do that. And yes, you can do that with this full moon. You most certainly can. And it's very important that you don't just sit back in mediocrity and averageness and be like, this is my life. Don't do that. Don't do that with this full moon. Go out and go and align with something. I want something a little bit more sassier. I want something a little bit more gold. I want something a little bit more sparkly. I can't do this job anymore. I'm going back to school. I'm going to study something, or I'm going to go do that course that I want to do. I'm going to start that hobby. I'm going to go to a makeup class. I need something. I need something sparkly and beautiful and gorgeous. And I need to start growing with it, and I need to start evolving with it, because otherwise I'm going to sit in mediocrity my entire incarnation and my entire life. And I'm not going to enjoy myself. So it's up to you with this full moon. This full moon is like, shut the door on the icky stuff, move over here and start working with stuff that's going. So just if you can just shut the door on what's happened in the past, and just move out here into the garden that's starting to bloom. And maybe you see, for me it probably is some fairies in the garden. For me personally, I really want to start a shop. It's probably going to start as like a market stall first with all my herbal stuff. Once I'm studying the herbal thing, that's something that's calling me, and I'm thinking about the branding. I'm also, what for me personally am I thinking about? I was also thinking about, I'm getting very inspired by clothing and fashion design, and if you follow along on my Aphrodite's Gardens Instagram, I talked about the constellation dress, the first dress I'm going to design. It's very slowly starting to come, so it's a really good idea. I've had that idea for months now, and now this full moon I'm like, and I haven't had the finances, or I haven't had the support. It's very true. I think with a lot of women, we've been wanting to start these things, but the cosmos just hasn't aligned for us. And so I know a bunch of women who watch my stuff, and I just know it's not just me that's feeling this. Like, there's a lot of other people that are feeling this, And we've just got to wait, and then we're going to decide to just close the door on all those feelings that we've had the last few years, like, oh, nothing's going to happen for me, and we've had to be really patient and wait for things to manifest. So with this full moon, yeah, closing the door on the people and the places that are just not working anymore, shutting down the connections, like say if you have a partner, or you got a husband, or whatever it is, or you got a wife, and there's like two distinct groups here with this one. Okay, so there's a big group of people that have gone and married someone, or had children with someone, or married, and it's the wrong person. You did it out of habit, out of circumstance. It's not out of love. So that's a part of the old frequency, and that's going to collapse in on you. I've been dreaming about this, that they're ending, these divorces that are coming through. And then on another group, we've got, hey, I would like my husband to come and join me in the garden. Or my husband what do I need to do to get my husband out of this lazy slump? Like there's an ending group here, and then there's another group that's like, no, I want to invoke my husband to try something new and exciting. And it's a different way in the divine feminine energies and with men. The divine feminine becomes the inspirer, the woman becomes the inspirer, and we sort of let go, the very good full moon, and we sort of let go of woman being like, oh, can you help me? I can't do anything, can you help me? And it's not inspiring, it doesn't help men. That whole thing, like, I can't do anything for myself, I need a man to do it all for me. No, you don't. You can run a business, you're fine, okay? Okay, so, sort of leaving that whole, okay, what else I got to say? That's it, full moon. Yeah, if us women could just maybe start inviting some brighter things in and doing some artistic stuff, starting a business. If you have a business idea, why don't you just start an Instagram page and begin posting some reels of your creations? Like, I think sometimes when we're very spiritual, we don't want to be a part of it, but it's very important to integrate yourself into it so you can start bubbling up with success, because you never know who may resonate with what you're offering. And we sort of, I don't know about anyone else, but I'm a little bit bored with all the Instagram girlies. I'm wanting something a little bit more exciting. And okay, I think that's all I've got for, just a little bored there. Okay, that's all I've got for this full moon. Thank you so much for watching, and unsure if I'm going to do another full moon, but I feel so much better now after doing this, and now I feel more clarified. Stay tuned. I'll have the members club open soon on my website, and then I will post a lot of musings, a lot of inspiration. It's going to be more of a lifestyle, bi-monthly newsletter, writings, recipes. I'm going to put a bit of a mums club in there. I know there's a bunch of babies, but a bunch of angels coming through, or mums who already have kids. I know these kids are very different, the ones that they're coming through. They're not like us. Yeah. Okay, thank you so much for watching, and I hope it was helpful.